Hey everyone, welcome to Mountain Beast Mysteries. I have a really crazy video for you guys today. I was recently sent some audio clips from Doug Highcheck, the producer of Monster Quest, that his son Blaine recorded in Minnesota at a place called Whiskey Jack Lake. And these audio clips, are recordings of an encounter that happened on two different nights. The first night was at a place called ANGLEWORM Lake, and the second place, the next night, was at a place called Whiskey Jack Lake. In the first clip, you can hear what sounds like rocks being tossed into the water. You can hear, the water splashing. And in the second clip, which is shorter, you can hear these rocks being thrown towards the tent that Blaine is sleeping in. And you can hear them hitting the ground, and they actually sound like pretty big rocks. These clips have been condensed down because the audio recorder was going all night. So what you're hearing is kind of the highlighted areas. And also I've kind of condensed the audio down even further for the first hearing of it. But at the end of the video, I'll put the whole first clip in that they kind of condensed down. It's like 10 minutes long, so you guys can have a listen through the whole thing. I'm gonna get into that audio. I'm gonna play it here right away. But the interesting thing about this area is that back in 2005, a guy named Lloyd Skelton, who was an experienced outdoorsman, actually went missing at this exact place. He was an experienced kayaker. I guess on this last trip he did before he disappeared, he wasn't gonna go kayaking. He just wanted to go hiking in the area. And he vanished without a trace. So they say that they think he probably died from hypothermia, but this happened in June. And I can't imagine an experienced outdoorsman such as this guy dying from hypothermia in June. I do a lot of winter camping, like in the dead of winter here in Canada. And I've never gotten hypothermia, so I can't imagine this guy doing it. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it just seems very peculiar. And also the fact that they couldn't find his body is very weird as well. So you have to wonder, we got these audio recordings of something approaching Blaine in his tent both nights in this area. And then, the story of this guy going missing in that exact spot. And we're all familiar with the missing 411 stories and people going missing in these wilderness areas. So I don't think it's just a coincidence, because when you hear this audio, you're going to be like, this sounds like exactly like Bigfoot behavior. This curious rock throwing, the rocks landing just outside of, I guess the range of harm. Like they're not throwing them right at the tent. They're just landing short of the tent. I guess in a way that's, maybe trying to scare him out of the area and not actually hurt him. But you'll just have to listen to it. So here's a segment of the audio clips. I'll play the first night, my condensed down version, and then you'll hear the second night. Hey, buddy. Easy. Easy. So what do you guys think of that? You can definitely hear in the first clip, you can hear these rocks or something splashing into the water. You can also hear what kind of sounds like wood knocking, and it's quite loud. And it's got to be close by. These were recorded on what I believe is a Zoom H1. It's a pretty standard audio recorder that a lot of Bigfooters use, and they're quite decent audio recorders. I believe, it was set up outside the tent, and it was able to capture these sounds. So this first night was at ANGLEWORM Lake, and the second night was at Whiskey Jack Lake. So whatever this thing was, it followed him from night 1 to night 2. Followed him from ANGLEWORM Lake to Whiskey Jack Lake, and that's creepy. There's something in the area, and this area, in Minnesota, they've been getting a lot of strange activity in. They have an area that they set up a whole bunch of cameras. It's their research area, and they're actually getting some weird stuff on these cameras. And they're getting fingerprints that are showing up on items they're leaving out there. Very oily fingerprints. We hear a lot about the oils that these Bigfoot creatures seem to excrete out of their fingers, out of the pores in their fingers. Doug Hychek calls it alba vernix. That's the name he came up with it for this weird oil. And we kind of experienced that when I was filming Wild Man, My Search for Sasquatch. If you go back and look at that film in the second part, you can see these weird fingerprints that show up on the car window. And they were in fact oily, and that was even before I found out that this was a thing. Like, we didn't know what this was back then, and apparently it's a pretty common thing that shows up, when a Bigfoot touches something, and when you get Bigfoot fingerprint evidence. So anyways, I don't think it's a coincidence that this guy went missing, and completely disappeared in the exact same location where these audio clips were recorded. The exact same location. And so this guy, Blaine, he's going back out in September. He's going to be doing some more research in that area. This time he's going to be armed, just in case. You know, because it is scary. He's out there alone, and this thing is approaching the tent. I say this thing. It could be things. It could be multiple creatures. We don't really know. But this is classic Bigfoot behavior. Rock throwing, wood knocking. It's pretty standard. Like, I don't know what else it would be. There actually is, you know, quite a few Bigfoot reports in Minnesota and up north of Minnesota in Canada and in Ontario. Ontario has a lot of Bigfoot activity. It has massive wilderness areas, lots of places to hide. And, you know, I'm pretty confident that they're getting genuine activity. So I want to know what you guys think of these audio clips. Do you think they're legit? I mean, I wish there was video to go along with it, but there's just not. And there's nothing I can do about that. So hopefully soon, you know, as their research continues on in that area, they're able to get some sort of video evidence. They do have a lot of camera traps set up out there, so who knows. But that's pretty much all I have to say about these clips at this point. Of course, when I get more information on it, I will, you know, share it with you guys. I will say, like, there are articles online about this Lloyd Skelton guy. You can actually Google it. If you go on Google and type Lloyd Skelton, missing in Minnesota or whatever, you can find articles. There's one here. It says Lloyd Skelton was an avid adventurer who had once climbed the Grand Tetons, paddled from Minnesota to Hudson's Bay. It just kind of goes on to explain how this guy was such an experienced outdoorsman. He knew what he was doing, and it just seems completely strange and bizarre that this guy would succumb to hypothermia in June and completely disappear. Like, that's the other strange part. Not only did he strangely die from hypothermia, according to these people, but he disappeared. You know, when we know about all the missing 411 cases. Anyways, I'll let you guys do the research on that. You can look at these articles. But at this point, I'm going to let you guys go, and you guys can listen to this 10-minute version of this audio. And you can let me know what you guys think in the description. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this version, this 10-minute version, was condensed down by Doug. And, you know, like I said, the audio recorder was originally running all night, and they took all the best parts and put them into a smaller clip. So, anyways, thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll leave you with the audio here. We'll see you next time on Mountain Beast Mysteries. Hey, buddy. Easy. Easy.